Hello, and here we are back with Vibe It Up, multiple streams of income. And I'm Lexis Johnson, and we're here to talk to you today about various different tools and tricks you can use to improve your online business, especially for wellness practitioners and spiritual entrepreneurs. And we have a very special guest today who's got just the perfect combination of both those two attributes for you. Her name is Sherry Bowers, and Sherry helps conscious entrepreneurs who feel intimidated by technology, like me, to help them bridge the gap between their vision and the online systems and tools they must have to grow their business. Once they make friends with technology, they no longer feel like they'll blow something up when they hit the wrong button. That's exactly how I feel too.
Yep.
Instead, they have the knowledge, confidence to bring their unique gifts out to the world. Sherry provides private coaching through her Intuitively Connected Biz program, as well as ongoing support and training options through her worry-free WordPress hosting and WordPress care services and her online courses. Welcome, please, Sherry Bowers.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Oh my gosh, this pleasure is all mine. Sherry, I didn't know you did website design too. We're going to have to talk.
Obviously, anytime.
Anytime. Okay, well, I want you to tell me a little bit about how you got started on the path of combining technology and spirituality, because that is a fascinating subject for me.
It makes me a little bit of an odd duck, but it's good. Probably, going back, I'd always been very, very techie, loved that. Started building my first online business, which was back in the early 90s.
Wow.
The old HTML code websites, but I even back then was focusing on the spiritual entrepreneurs because that was where my passion was. How it morphed into this was kind of an interesting story because at the time I had two separate websites. I had one that was my spiritual intuitive website, and I had one that was my technology site, and the two were completely separate. I was still kind of a closet case, and I had just co-authored a book with a group of other coaches, and we were trying to figure out how to promote it. And I saw an event come up that was a joint venture type event, and I wanted to see how it worked. So I, got the inspiration to write a little ebook, and how to use your intuition. Kind of downloaded the whole thing, 24 hours I had the thing written and up and to use in this event because
You're fast.
The event was geared. It was all divine, it was all divine intervention with this thing. And because the event was geared at self-improvement, spiritual entrepreneurs, that type of area. And I was at that moment 100% just tech. And I joked about my other website being kind of my personal therapy site. So I, did this ebook, threw it up there so I could kind of see how this event, what made it work. And and for that website, I didn't have anybody on my list. So I was very excited. I thought maybe I'll come away with 20 people. I will be so excited if I come away with 20 people.
Exactly. This was
back in like 2010. By the time the event was over, I had 954 subscribers.
Oh my gosh.
It blew my, I fell off my chair. And the funny, the ironic part about it, was it was in the wrong business. It was in the business that I didn't know what I would even do with them. So ultimately I lost that whole list because that's all I had, but what it sparked me was just the power in getting visible and getting out there so people can find you and see you and learn more about you and get on your list. So that's kind of how it started. And from there, I decided, okay, I've got to find a way to blend these two because otherwise I'm living a double life that is too hard. It's more fun to
which one
up so you do what you like.
Which one was first? The spirituality? Is that where you were going?
That's where I wanted to go, but up until like that event, I really couldn't. I didn't have clarity about how I could combine them.
Mm.
Because I wasn't really a healer. I was interested in those things, but that wasn't what drove me. And I love the tech, but I didn't want to just build websites for the neighborhood carpenters and retail stores and things. So that being in an event like that and seeing all the other businesses that were in there and the different types and what people were doing, and some were coaches, some were authors, some were course creators, that kind of made me, and the one thing that I discovered as I went along is the connecting thread for all of them is 90% of them were tech challenged. And then the light bulb went off and I was like, oh, that's how I can pull these together. So that's when
Go ahead.
So that's when I started focusing really on helping support the spiritual entrepreneurs, the healers, the authors, the creatives that get their stuff out there. Because my viewpoint of the world is we need more of that. We just need more people shining the lights out there.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we're here today with Sherry Bowers on Vibe It Up, multiple streams of income. And our episode today is called Technology, Your New BFF. I want you to grab your phones and turn your camera on, especially like I'm hoping you're on your iPad or your computer. Turn your cameras on your phone and scan the QR code, because we have a commercial you're not going to want to miss. We'll be right back with Sherry Bowers. That's It's multiple streams of income, Vibe It Up. And we're here with the episode called Technology, Your New BFF, which I'm sure you all know that means your new best friend forever. And mine must be Sherry Bowers, because I'm finding out all kinds of juicy things about her I didn't even know. And I've known her a very long time. We both started around the same time in the early 2000s. So Sherry, the title of our talk today is Technology, Your New BFF. But that's not how most people look at technology. I certainly don't. So can you tell me what you mean by that? Because I want to wring its little neck most of the time.
Yeah, and most of my clients do too.
Right?
It's such a that whole concept is kind of an oxymoron, and I think that's what gets people's attention. But in its best form, it can be your best friend, because it's designed, if you've got the right systems and they're set up correctly, it's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to help you reach more people and give you more of your freedom, because you're going to be spending less time fixing things and more time doing things. So that's kind of my goal with the people that I work with, is get them from, that stressed out, I'm afraid to touch anything, I'm afraid that this is going to break, I don't know what to do with it if it does break, and get them to the point where they can say, oh, I want to put up a new offer, and I've got this. They've got and whether they do it themselves or not is sort of not even the point. The point is they understand it enough that if in a pinch they could do it themselves, or they have the knowledge and the languaging and the understanding to be able to hire a VA and say, hey, I need this done, and this is about how long it should take, and here's some instructions, and make their life easier instead of harder.
Well, I have to tell you, I'd be so lost without my team. I've got a lot of team players though, because I play on a little bit bigger scale than most people. I'm, I don't know if you know, human design, but I'm a
Oh,
manifesting generator, and we have to have our finger in a lot of different pies. And I'm much happier when I do. And so I've got this humongous platform. I still do nutrition, which I started with, and I still
uh-huh.
do teaching people how to write a book and build their business online. But I've now got this marketing platform that you're speaking out of, and build a business in the book, done for you or done with you. So I've got a dozen people like Arnold, who's in our green room today, who creates the TV show intros and extras, and creates our commercials, and turns landing pages into the gifts that we give away on every show, several gifts. Um, but I still, and you're gonna so laugh at me. You're so gonna laugh at me.
No,
So
I'm
you see how
not.
bad I am with technology? I can't even keep my lights on. Look at that. Where did this little clicky thing go? Nope, that's the same one. There it is over here. Sorry about that, folks. Things happen. See, when I'm around, things just happen. I think because I am an energy worker, I shut things down. Cash registers included. Don't stand behind me in the grocery line, folks. I'm upset about anything that I shut down the cash register. Okay, so what you're going to laugh at is the fact that I know I write emails. I can write engagement emails. I can write segmented emails. I can write all these emails. I'm a copywriter. I'm a best-selling author, but I wouldn't know which button to press if my life depended on it. So I actually send them to my virtual assistant,
Yep.
and he uploads them to my my autoresponder. And when you stop and think about it, I could just upload it. It's the same amount of work and energy, but if I try to do it, I will guarantee you I will hit what I think is the right button, and magically it won't be the right button. Where did it go? Like, it's just like this.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what the keys are to making friends with your technology? I mean, help me, girl.
I mean, I think that some of the biggest ones are just the awareness, or giving ourselves permission to know that the technology is always going to change, and we're always going to have to learn something new, and that kind of will get rid of half of the resistance and the fight that always comes up as we're trying to learn.
Have you met me yet? It's like, seriously. No, I stay abreast of all the latest, greatest technology. That's why I'm doing this instead of doing this. Because TV is binge worthy. People watch it over and over again. So that's why I'm doing it. But still, I need other people to press all the buttons for me. And now I'm a unique character. Okay. I'm very talented all over here. It's just all this stuff over here. It's a spider web to me. And I understand so much about technology. I understand so much that I teach what you need to do, but I can't do it myself.
And that kind of segues into the other piece of that puzzle, which is really about knowing knowing your personality, knowing how you like to work, and knowing what stage your business is at.
Exactly.
Because you're going to need different things at different stages. And I see so many, I tend to work with a lot of people that are a little newer to the online. And I see so many of them, they've got the vision. So they're seeing, okay, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, but they don't have the basics yet. So it's like, you've got to get, you've got to build the foundation first, right? Yeah. And then go from there. So, that's one of the other keys, is really taking a look at where you're at and where you want to go. And then, knowing that you're not going to get it perfect right out of the gate. It's going to be an evolution type of a thing. And then get the best technology bundle, for lack of a better word, but the best combination of tools that you can get.
Yeah.
That will grow with you at whatever price point you're at that point. I see a lot of people in the beginning too, where they're like, well, I want to keep costs minimum, which is understandable, but sometimes that can, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
You're making it harder than it has to be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know I certainly did, because I struggled and limped along for a long.
Oh, we all have. Yeah.
Many years. But I think part of the problem, don't you think, is the fact that everybody's starting at a different place. right? We all have, some
Yeah.
of us are book writers and some of us are on camera
Yeah.
people, and some of us don't ever want to be on camera and shy away from it. Some of us are happy to talk and some of us are like, "Mm." And
Yeah.
most of us are like not salesy at all. We just like, we think selling, like not me, I think selling is serving people, giving them what they need and want to get to where they want to go. But a lot of people think selling is pushing and forcing people to buy something that they don't need. And that's a common theme amongst online entrepreneurs, especially the heart-centered coaches. And so I'm hoping to change all of that by having the done for you type programs. But that's where people like you come in, because I can offer your services to them so they don't have to worry about it. Just hire you, done. Right? Have a long conversation. This is what result I want to have, and Sherry makes it happen. So I don't know why you don't have a magic wand.
I'm sorry? Why
don't you have a magic wand? Because you'd certainly be my fairy godmother.
Hey, I would love it. Always wanted to do magic,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure.
So on that note, I'm going to take another little break here, and want you to take your cell phones out because we have another gift for you. Yeah, these are commercials you guys want to watch. So grab your phone, watch this show on your laptop or your iPad or some other device than your phone, and put your camera on your phone and scan the QR code. And we'll be right back with Vibe It Up, multiple streams of income, with our guest, Sherry Bowers, talking about how technology is your new best friend.
Really? It really is.
Yeah, well, I'll change. And we're back with Vibe It Up, multiple streams of income. And that gift, I'm hoping you'll watch the replay if you didn't get to scan it. You can come back, and it teaches you a little bit about how to write a book that will actually market yourself. And we're talking today with Sherry Bowers, and she's talking about how you can make technology your new BFF. I want to hear some more about that. So do you have some more keys for us?
Yeah. So I think that, the two main keys that I talk, pretty much I hammer home to anybody that I'm working with, really is you need to find ways to be visible that fits who you are. And you need to build that email list. I have so many people come to me and they're like, well, I'm on social media, and that's awesome. And you can do huge amounts on social media, but ultimately you want to get them on your list, because that's how you can stay. They can stay in your world. You can stay in their world over a period of time. And I think what illustrates this probably the best is this year in particular was interesting. I've had multiple people over the last few months reaching out to me saying, I've been on your list for years, but this one email, whatever it was that I wrote at that time, they were ready for it.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't had them on my list this whole time, they wouldn't have remembered. They wouldn't have come to me. They would have gone to somebody else. So, I think those are the two keys. And then the trick is getting them to work together, because they have, some people understand, I need a list, but I don't know how to be visible. And I think that's where what you're doing is so awesome, because it just helps people be seen and be able to share what they have. And I think that's what's drawn me to, like the giveaway events the little story I told in the beginning, is it's a way to help people get visibility and be seen and be found.
Let's talk about that for a second, because we're talking all about these other things that you do. But the thing that I know you the most for is, and this is really a funny quick little story is that I have tried to be on your giveaways 3 times now.
I know.
I'm on it because I'm so bad with technology that I can never get my act together enough to get it done. The first 2 times I couldn't get my landing page created for you. I didn't know how, and I hired people. And the last time there was a typhoon in the Philippines and I had 3 VAs working for me. I didn't know they all lived in an area where typhoons were a problem, and I lost all 3 girls at the same time. And sad for me, but a tragedy for them because they lost their homes.
Oh,
but
wow.
I could your program because of it. And so many times these are the types of things that happen to Lexis. That's just my little, my cross to bear. But I so appreciate you because you just so understood what I was going through, and you so understood the fact that not everybody's got the gene technology, and you were so patient and so kind with me, so easy to work with. It was just unbelievable that here I am. I'm finally a guest on your giveaway. So I'm very happy.
I'm proud of you. We did it. We pulled it off.
Yep. Absolutely. But one of the questions I want to ask you is, tell me a little bit about this giveaway, because I understand that your gift is that giveaway, getting people to get on it. So you have your one gift is a whole bunch of gifts.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
There's 30 some in there. So I like to describe them kind of as an online trade show. If you've ever been to a trade show, it's all kind of in a building somewhere in a convention center, and you go in and there's all these booths and tables, and you can kind of walk around and speak to people, get to know them, see what they have to offer, take some samples, and really be exposed.
The samples when you get home, you don't remember who you got them from.
Right. So that's kind of how this type of event works. A bunch of business entrepreneurs will join the event just like the vendors would for a trade show. Each of them offers their own gift that will help the visitors get to know who they are, see what services they have, take a little sample, and then it opens to the public, which is what's going on right now with the giveaway. They run for various periods of time. You'll find some out there that might only run for 7 days, so get it now or you're going to miss it. Or some that are longer. I tend to run mine 22 days and just let people kind of digest it in a more leisurely fashion. And
it gives you a lot of variety that way too, though. It's not the same old stuff. There's a lot of variety. And because there's so many different ways to build your business, it's something for everybody, really. Right?
Yeah. And it's not, the fun part about it too is like the beginning part. Okay, it's geared towards the entrepreneurs who can contribute their gifts, and then but ultimately the event is for the people that could be served by those partners. So there is a huge variety. There's we've got ebooks, we've got intuitive readings, people offering intuitive readings, we've got people offering courses or meditations or workshops. It's just a wide assortment on all different topics. And I think that's really neat. I remember when I was the first few that I like the one that I tried, right, that I experimented with and got those 900 people, that was such a learning experience. And that's the other thing I like to tell my clients is when you participate in something like this, the goal is to get people on your list, to help you build your list. But the hidden benefits that you receive as a vendor or as a contributor is kind of like this crash business course. You're going to learn, it gives you a deadline. You're going to learn how to, get your opt-in set up, your free gift up and offered. It's going to help you learn how to follow up and connect with people and create those relationships. That could help you learn how to network with the other people that are in it. So there's lots of hidden benefits if you for the people that look at it as the opportunity that it can be,
exactly.
If you use it right.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
And I think for me, I love seeing the especially with the newer people, seeing that journey that they go through as they they participate in these, where they
Right.
might come to me and be like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do this because I don't know how. And then, some of them I'll personally get with other people. I can kind of aim them in the right direction, but we get, help them get in, help them get set up. Not everybody. I can't do everybody, but and then watch them go through the end and just be so excited about, where they end up at the end.
That's the most gratifying thing, is when you help somebody and you take them from one level to another level, and the elation that they have for having ascended to that point is just unbelievable. I know exactly how you feel. Yeah, exactly. So, wow, that's just amazes me that you have meditations and workshops, and like I gather videos and webinars and all kinds of trainings that people can go to, 30 some odd different ones in your gift giveaway. And it's like one a day, right? For 22 days.
You can, so if you go, when you go to the event, you opt in. Once you opt in there, then you've got access to all of the gifts, and you can choose to get them all at once if you want. You can go and choose one a day. Nice. Part of what I do to make it easier for people is my events run 22 days. So each day I will take a featured gift, and I send out an email every day to anybody that, the people have signed up, that this is a featured gift, and you get a little, blurb about the gift. You get the link to come in and get it, and you get a little bio so that you can learn more about it, the person that's offering it. And, that's great. And I think that just makes it easier to digest for people. So they don't feel like, oh, if I don't go in there and get it all today, I'm going to forget and miss out on, what I might want.
The one good thing about the kind of gift giveaway that's online, well, there's a lot of good things about not having to go to the conference. Sore feet in high heels is one of them.
Right.
Carrying those bags of little treats and goodies that they give you, and you get home and half the time they're not worth what they are supposed to, and the tag is ripped off, and you don't know who gave you this, vegan chocolate bar or, gluten-free, whatever. And so you get home and you're like, okay, now what do I do? Like, oh, that was good. Where do I get another one? Right. But with this, you get an email that tells you about it, gives you some information about it, and you get the whole website has the places where you can log in. And when you log in, it's an opt-in. So you get an email from those people as well. So you're now getting information about them. So if you like what you are receiving, you're going to get to hear more and more and more about it. So it's good for both the person receiving and the person giving. That's a win-win for everybody.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. So we're going to have one more commercial here. I would like to take you to gift giving land. Since we're gift giving, we might as well give another one away. So grab your phones and put it on camera and scan the QR code in the commercial that's about to come up. And we'll be right back with Sherry Bowers with Vibe It Up on multiple streams of income. I just get into the dancing part here with the music on, and it's over. Okay, we're back with multiple streams of income on Vibe It Up, and we're talking to Sherry Bowers, who does gift giveaways. And how many do you do a year? I know you do 2, because you do a summer and a winter.
Yeah. Generally, a summer and a winter. Once in a while, I'll get a wild hair, and I might throw in a third one. But for the most part, that tends to be a really good mix, so that there can be new people each time. And
so
give people some variety.
I want to hear a little bit more. I know we were going to talk about something else here, but I do have a question I want to bring up,
Yeah.
and that is,
Yeah.
you are involved with spirituality. You are
Yeah.
involved with technology. Now, we've talked a lot about the technology part. What is it that you do for people that's in a spiritual realm? Because that's your passion, right?
Yeah.
That's one of your passions. So let's hear a little bit about that. How can you help people?
Yeah. So I do intuitive readings, and
Ah,
so that's one. Every now and then I throw that out there, and people will, for people. And with my clients, we kind of bring that into the work we do. So when they're getting stuck, or they are having trouble of like, I don't know if I should go this way or that way, or offer this or that, lots of times we can either stop at that point and really feel into that energy, maybe pull some cards, get a feel for what guidance is coming up for them. And then that generally will be enough to like get rid of the resistance and the block and let them move forward. I'm also got the basics of human design down, and I like doing that with my clients because for me, that was such a huge aha moment in my own business when
what are you?
I'm a projector.
Ah, you're a projector.
I'm a projector, and
this is the perfect work for you.
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
And it made me realize why all of the marketing methods that the gurus said, oh, I should do this, I should do that. Why it was so painful, why I just could not do it. And I, up until understanding that energy and the wiring that I have,
yeah, absolutely.
Then I realized there's nothing wrong with me. This is just, I need to do it different.
Right. And that's a light bulb moment when you figure that out.
Oh,
it's like,
huge.
Okay.
Huge. Because, so many years of just, beating yourself up, thinking that, why can't I do this? I should be able to do this. Everybody's telling me
that. Thinks you need to do it a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, so I like doing that with my clients too, because for a lot of them, then we can kind of look at like, okay, are you a projector? Are you a generator? Are you a manifesting generator? Because that sort of dictates that this path might be a lot more successful for you than doing what
than a different path.
Than a different path. And exactly. So between that, and then I also I don't do it much for clients, but it does give me insight for how I work with people is just channeled writing that I do for myself, and that's usually where I get a lot of my guidance. But the world needs more people coming from that heart place, and if
absolutely. Whether you realize that we're all intuitive in some degree, and whether you've developed that side of your talent, like I've never developed the technical side of me, right? But I've really developed all the intuitive sides of me. We all have those gifts in us. It's what we put our attention to. And I like those things. So I've studied those things, right? So I have an edge there, but it's liking it was the only difference. But everybody needs to understand a little bit more about themselves. So studying and working with somebody like Sherry, that you need her. People think, oh, I don't need all this intuitive stuff. But as internet marketers online, running any kind of a business, the online component has to be part of it nowadays. It just has to be. And I mean, if you don't want to get locked down, right? So you need to have this information. If you're going to learn it from somebody anyways, you might as well learn it from somebody who has the intuitive capacity, because they can see things that you can't see. Not only does Sherry have the experience that you maybe don't have, and that's why you're coming to someone to help with technology, but she has the intuitive aspect as well, which is how I help my people, right? It's the intuitive aspect that comes in along with all the experience, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so gratifying to see the light bulb come on. But I remember I had my human design done a very, very long time ago from the woman who made it famous. And it was done wrong. And they told me I was a projector. And I went, this isn't right. This is stupid. I hate this. This is not me at all.
Right.
And then somebody said to me, oh, they looked me up and they said, oh, you're not that. You're a manifesting generator. And I went, yeah, so what does that mean? And they told me some things about myself that They only knew my birthday. And I was like, how on earth did they
Right.
like,
Right.
how did they know this stuff about me? It was like the day I learned about astrology. I didn't believe in this stuff. Can't be just 12 kinds of people. And then my mom took me to a course and they asked us our birth dates and they did our charts. And all of a sudden they had encyclopedic knowledge about me. So yeah, having somebody that works with you to do the thing you absolutely need to have and do it in a way that's intuitive. And it's like they're reading your mind and they're right in your head. That's what it's like to work with Sherry. So I want to ask you, what are the most important things to keep in mind when choosing the right kind of technology to use for your online business? Because that's got to be a tough question for most people.
Oh yeah. And yes, we're just gonna say yes. for that
It is for me. You know how many
Yeah.
different things I bought? There is, every different kind of autoresponder, every different person that's out there that's creating some different kind of a funnel, every different kind of social media. How do you know what you need and what you don't need?
Yeah. And that's where you connect with somebody that you can trust, that's kind of been there and done that. I pretty much tried. I laugh because I love the tech to the point because I love puzzles. I love figuring things out. So I see a new system and the curiosity factor gets me and I have to go like, ooh, how does this work? I want to see how this works. But that's given me a real broad range of knowing what's out there and what can help people. So the things, to decide the best system for you, whether it's an all-in-one system, whether it's just the different pieces that you need and then that'll integrate together. What you want to look for is, kind of look at your budget, right? That's always going to be a factor with this stuff. Look at the stage of your business. Are you relatively new? Have you been out there a while? So you've already got a client base and you're looking more to up level where you're at? Are you looking to, are you more into video? So you want to go have your YouTube channel and go in this direction? Are you wanting, you hate video and you want to do a podcast? Are you wanting ultimately to do webinars? Kind of take a look at where your main focus is and then put blinders on. So you're not following all the shiny objects because, oh my God, there's so many of them.
That's for sure.
Right. So then when you start looking at the actual systems that you need, obviously you need some sort of a website or a landing page or something, and you need an email system that will let you do some basic follow-up emails, some automations. And at its bare minimum, you could get away with that and get started. A lot of the email systems now, that would be the ultimate bare minimum. From there, then you're going to want to look at, okay, I want to sell things. How do I sell things? You might want to look at funnels and shopping carts, ideally something that can do both. But, the key with all of these is you want to get the best bang for your buck, right? So, when you're looking at these products, don't just look at the price. Don't let that be your ultimate deciding factor. Try to get the most features that you can get with whatever system you're looking at within your price range. That will let you grow with it so that you don't have to switch sooner than normal, right? I mean, as you grow, you're going to grow out of systems and have to move up to something bigger or something better. That's just the nature of the beast. But the further you can grow before you have to do that, that's a whole lot easier to deal with. So really, check out your price range, check out your focus of where you're wanting to be, and then don't look at anything else. Don't look at the other stuff. Find yourself a support system, whether it's somebody that you're working with or it's just a group, a Facebook group that with a lot of people that have more experience or in where you want to go so that you can kind of pick people's brains. and
Or
get
even
different
just
opinions.
the right coach, right?
Exactly. Those are all things that are going to really help make all these decisions more manageable. And then the other piece, if you're not going with an all-in-one type system, and there's pros and cons to all-in-ones and not, and just integrating. But when you start deciding on pieces, you really want to take a look at, do they talk to each other? Do they integrate? If you're dead set on an email system and want to add a shopping cart, well, which ones does it talk to? Because if you don't get systems that talk to each other, you're going to make yourself work so much harder. Yeah, it's just, you're going to lose your mind. So
yeah, well,
those are kind of the keys.
Totally laugh at me, Sherry. I mean, I'm even embarrassed to tell you what I did. I bought an all-in-one, and my very first website was coded, and I had pages and pages and pages and pages and pages, and I sold products. And then I went, you know what? I'm selling $20 bottles of vitamins, and it's taking me as much effort to sell one $20 bottle as my friend who sells real estate and gets hundreds of thousands of dollars, in her pocket,
right?
Selling these multi-million-dollar homes. I'm like, she's taking a couple of hours and gets that, and I'm taking a couple of hours and I'm getting $20 sales. Something wrong with this picture, right? So I wrote that one out, and then I really said, okay, going online has to be about something better than that. And that's when I started coaching. And I was coaching because I was a nutritional coach, but now many, many, many websites later, I've tried everything out there. I decided I was going to pay it once and never pay for it again. And I bought this wonderful shopping cart that was all in one. And then I decided to make it complicated.
We tend to do that as humans.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had the ones where you buy all the little coding and you have to integrate all these things. And Zapier was my friend kind of thing. I've tried all of that. But guess what? Now I don't need to because I've got this. So what do? I decide to incorporate a whole bunch of portals. So now I have 4 different kinds of people all joining in at the same time. It can't handle that. I'm trying to put a membership site together so that my crew can get in there. That's one of the groups, but I don't want anybody else to see my crew. I just want my crew to be able to reach like my guest speakers, for example, and not see all the other things. And then there's the school aspect, and then there's the wellness alliance. So I've got all these different aspects to it. Yeah. So it's become a coded all-in-one system.
Right.
Now I've got integrations all over the place with it, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes, right? But
you do.
At least I understand. And when I hire a website designer and they say to me, tell me everything you're going to ever need for this website, and we'll get it. We'll make sure you got everything you need. I'm like, yeah, that's not how I work. I'm going to do this. And then tomorrow I'm going to add something. And 2 weeks later, I'm going to add something else. So just understand that we're going to need to integrate everything.
Right. It'd be so much easier if we all had our little crystal ball and we could just see the whole picture.
I totally wish.
But doesn't happen.
Okay, so backtracking a person like me, who's an absolute idiot with these crazy kinds of things, when you're first starting out, like if you could take me back 20 years, but do it today, how do you keep your sanity? Like there's so many different choices. How do you keep your sanity? How do you figure it all out?
One step at a time, really. You kind of, it's what that one saying where, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time or something like that. It really is, you want to have your vision and you want to have your ultimate goals. And those are always going to be way beyond probably where you're at any moment, but so that'll give you your direction, but really focus on, you start off with the basics. You start off with how can I be seen? And for some people, that's going to be video. For some people, it's going to be just their website. For some people, it's going to be webinars or podcasts, right? How do you want to be seen and found? And then that's going to dictate what makes sense for the tools to start off with. If you're, if you're more a video person, then initially right out of the bat, you might not need really a full-blown website immediately. You're going to need a YouTube channel and some email and some opt-ins to kind of, start building that audience.
Opt-ins are like like their landing pages, their little baby websites, right?
Yep, little baby one-page websites that you can give somebody a taste of what you do.
So
and
what I'm
get
kind of
them
hearing
into
you
the
say,
world.
though, Sherry, is that your other best friend is your coach. So,
This is true.
I'm not saying it, folks, but if you listen to me, you need to hire this lady. She's a great coach. She's not saying it. I'm giving her every opportunity to say.
Sorry.
She's not saying it.
And I should know that because I'm a projector. This is my invitation, right?
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, get some, find somebody to work with. It's going to shorten that learning curve. It's going to keep you focused. It's going to keep you out of the weeds.
Yeah.
And know that, and don't be afraid to find the right one. You might work with somebody for a while and outgrow them. You might work with somebody that you just don't click with.
And that's a good thing.
And that's okay.
Them.
And don't let that kind of jade working with any coach. It's just that maybe wasn't the right coach.
No, maybe you just needed to learn those things. And that was all you needed to learn. At
exactly.
That point.
Just and, like life. And I think, finding one that, I think the advantage I have, that at least from the comments that I get from my clients, is that, it's so, for them, it's so refreshing to have somebody that understands both sides, because that is not, I'm not the normal website tech person. I understand the spiritual entrepreneur, and that's hard to find. I don't think there's very many other people out there that do what I do in that respect. Yeah. So if that's what you need, come find me.
We're going to get back. We're going to go to another commercial break. We're going to come back and we're going to be talking about the 2 keys for building your business. So you do want to come back, and you are going to want to see this commercial too. So grab your phone, turn your camera on, and scan the QR code for Vibe It Up Multiple Streams of Income. And we'll be right back with Sherry Bowers and me, Lexis. Hello, we're back with Vibe It Up Multiple Streams of Income, and that last commercial was for a friend of mine, Elaine Sugar, where I'm a keynote speaker this fall in a summit that happens every year. So if you're watching this as a replay and the summit's already happened this year, there's going to be another one next year. So just stick with it. Scan the code. Come to the next one.
Awesome.
We were talking about how you make technology your new BFF, and we were going to head into the subject of what are the 2 keys for building your business. So can you distill things like that down for us? What are the 2 keys?
I mean, if you strip away everything else and get down to the absolute 2 things, that just always is going to come down to your visibility and your email list. And that's it. Point. That's just it. You have to have a way to be seen, and you have to have a way to stay in front of your people. And that's how you're going to do it. So visibility, if we want to talk about that, and this piece too, because is becoming, I think, even more important, and will be in the next few months because of some changes that are happening technology-wise pertaining to Google and privacy and a lot of the things that have been in the news, right? So it's sort of like how the pendulum swings with things. Back in the early days of websites and marketing, you had to have the email was the only way. There was no social media yet. So that was, everything was email, and that's how you got in front of people by doing events like the giveaway or there really wasn't even webinars yet. So there were a lot of in-person was more of a focus. And then came social media, and that pendulum kind of swung more to like, okay, we're going to automate everything, and we're going to do ads, and we're going to, focus on social media to get people on our list. And it took away some of the personal touch from the marketing, I think. It got a lot more automated. What has been happening over the last year and is going to continue this year is a movement from both Apple and now Google Android to really take privacy, make that kind of one of their top priorities moving forward. And what that's wonderful for the consumers, and it's like majorly challenging for any of us that are marketing. So what happened, and that's where these two keys, the pendulum is swinging back, because now, once again, we're going to have to really focus more on finding ways to become visible and getting back to learning how to use our email, because ads and the targeted marketing where you visit something on the internet, on the web browser, and all of a sudden you start getting ads, right?
Yeah, and they're very expensive.
That's going to go away. That's really changing. It's going to get very, very expensive.
Wow.
Yeah. I
think that's a good thing. You know what? If you're going to put ads on, you need to have already a really large list and be making a lot of money, because ads are very expensive to start.
Exactly.
And you're sending the ads out to 8 billion people on the planet. They're you can't be that, even though they're saying that they're highly targeted, they're not, because we're watching everything. We're bombarded with media and we're blind to it already. But you know what? I got to interrupt this show for a very special announcement here. Do you know a lady named Ann Puglisi?
I do.
Well, she's written in. We have the ability to take comments from our audience. We're on Facebook Live and LinkedIn Live and YouTube at the same time that this show is on live. And she's written something I want to read to the audience here. She says, Sherry is a wonderful coach. She's very patient. And it's true that Sherry being intuitive is a real benefit. Isn't that nice?
Thank you. Anna's wonderful.
Just folks.
Yep.
Anybody else want to make a comment or ask a question? Now would be the time. So I do want to just continue this little interview just a little bit longer here. You've been doing giveaways for a very, very long time. You kind of talked a little bit about how they work, but if you can add a little more to that. But why do you keep doing them? It's a lot of work, isn't it, for you?
It's a lot of work. And therefore, there was a period of time where it seemed like, it wasn't the shiny object anymore. And people were like, oh, giveaways don't work anymore. I don't want to, why are you doing that? That seems like a waste. And, so I had to kind of sit with that and really think of like, why am I still doing this? But I think what we're seeing right now in the marketplace is exactly why I'm doing this. It's one of the few ways that newer people can get out and get seen in an affordable way. Ads are expensive. There's other joint venture partner events that are out there, but a lot of them have very high entry requirements. You have to already have a big list. You have to already have a following. And if you're new, you don't.
And just because you're new doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. It just
means
that
you're good. Yeah,
you're good. That's your secret, right?
Yeah. And and now with how the marketing is kind of shifting, and we really are needing to go back to creating relationships, working together, helping support each other, and more partnering than we have in the last maybe 5 years, because it's just been really very much a focus on advertising and more solo automated type things.
Well,
right?
advertising
it really needs to go back.
it makes you feel like you're being sold to, right? Nobody
Yeah.
wants to be sold to. Everybody wants to be served. They want to buy things, but nobody wants to feel like they're being, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're in our last minute here. We're going to have to say goodbye soon. But do you have any last final words for our guests, for our public audience here? Give us a plug for your show, your giveaway, your summer giveaway.
Yeah. Come to the giveaway. You've got the QR code. You can watch the replay and grab that. And check it out. There are so many gifts there that there's bound to be something that you will love. See how it works. If you have questions, feel free to stop by my website and reach out and ask questions. I'm happy to, you can find happy to chat with that.
On Facebook. We have 3 groups on Facebook. So our Vibe It Up Multiple Streams of Income is on Facebook, and we're on YouTube, folks. And Sherry's got it advertised as well. So we're going to be back next week. We've got some fabulous guests coming up. I have a gentleman coming up who's going to talk about the latest, greatest, cutting edge supplements. He is a vitamin formulator, a supplement formulator. He's going to bring on a couple of guests, and they are going to tell you how they can't live without his supplements, how they've made such a change in their lives. And Dr. Doug is going to be with us, and he's going to have a couple of guests on too. He's going to be demonstrating quantum healing. So he's one of our regulars. So I have to say goodbye right now, but thank you so much, Sherry Bowers, for attending our show today.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure to have you as always. And come back again, folks, to Vibe It Up, Multiple Streams of Income. Watch us on E360 and Roku and Amazon Fire and Apple TV and all the other ones. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.